104.5 FM. I def them.
It's been 29 years and Rebel Salute comes forward. Bigger and better than ever. Why not come and join us at the Grizzlies Plantation Cove, St. Anne's on the 20th and the 21st of January 2023. Come and see the Arts Village, the Herb Curb, the Food Court, and a whole host of artists.
We're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. The best music. For your listening pleasure.
New corner of Wickham Avenue in the Bronx. We specialize in the best Jamaican and American cuisine, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We are open 24 hours, 7 days a week. We offer free in-house delivery, minimum $20 purchase, and we also have Uber Eats. We do barbecue Thursdays, fish fry Fridays, and seafood Saturdays. For more information, give us a call for our address and menu, 718-324-7484. Once again, that's 718-324-7484. Cooler Runnings Restaurant, simply the best Jamaican food.
Thursday. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Thursday, I tell ya. Thursday. These are exciting times because we intend to live our lives, our best lives in 2023. Am I the only one? I mean, I'm speaking on behalf of everyone, you know? Yes, we want to live our best lives in 2023. And I know I'm not alone, so I'll not be selfish and, gwony, as though I'm the only one. Because I'm not the only one. Good evening, family and friends. How are you? Welcome to the first edition of Center Stage. I am your producer and presenter, Lady D. Denise Gomez, the host of Inside the Zone, the community platform where information is guaranteed, broadcast on Linkage Radio 101.7, 104.5 FM, of course, Touch FM Radio 90.1, and Inside the Zone with Lady D on the YouTube channel. It is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Inside the Zone is a culture-centric radio program that connects the Jamaican diaspora and international audiences globally. The show's content captures its people's social, cultural, and collective views on issues that affect their communities: family, health, finance, education, immigration, housing, wealth management, life and health insurance, real estate, and food insecurity. On Monday, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Thursday, 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Linkage Radio in Mount Vernon, New York. This evening's feature is Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. Coming up, our inspirational zone. We get our praise on with great gospel music, followed by News Zone, a rebroadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. Then we hop on over to Music Zone. It's disco music Thursday. And what's inside the zone? Your memorable stories, I tell you. So as you know, yeah, I'm just humming here and singing along. But as you know, the race is on to nominate a Speaker for the House. So I do have some Speaker of the House fast facts for you. Have you ever seen anything like this? I mean, the United States of America, we're on a roll, just doing things the way we do. I'm telling you. Everybody wants to tune in to see what's going on over in the U.S. And half the time is all kind of nonsense. You know, in Jamaica, we say poppy show, right? And of course, I promised you that I would be airing Mail Zone once we resume regular programming in the new year. So I'm kicking it off this evening. My daughter is making a big mistake. And you know, we do have great music. We have voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. And I heard a rebroadcast on one of our major stations in Jamaica where they went into the archives because they're having some changes in their programming. And so, you know, to fill the spot, they have some fillers, which are really good, I think. Very historical pieces, true to life pieces, so success stories, and so much more. So I heard a success story on that platform, which I would like to share with you this evening, and I know you will be so taken by it. I tell you, you see, Jamaicans or Caribbean people, but I'm talking about a Jamaican. We are not easy people, you know. It's either we are exceptionally great at what we do, or we're exceptionally bad. But in this context here, exceptionally great. And I have to share that with you about a young man from humble beginnings and where he is today. Amazing. Right there in that beautiful island on the rock that we call Yard, Jamaica, land of my birth, whatever else we want to coin it as. Yes. That's what I'll be doing this evening. It is now 26 minutes after 6 o'clock. And as always, I do have to get my praise on. So Happy New Year to those of you who are tuning in, whatever medium you're listening to me on. I'd like to welcome you. And to my YouTubers, I'm inviting you to share the link. Ryan, have you been sharing? Pat, have you been sharing? And whoever else is there. Please share the link for me so that, because I send it out in my broadcast and I'm hoping, Eileen, I'm hoping that we can have a good show this evening. So our telephone number, as always, is 914-600-4228. That is 914-600-4228. I'd like to get our praise on. How about you? Praise is what we do, wouldn't you say?
Even the best of us. Somehow, while trying to do right, we mess things up along the way. We disappoint others. We disappoint ourselves.
We all make mistakes.
But it's not over.
It's not over.
We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. We fall down, but we get up. Oh, yes. For a saint is just a sinner who fell down. But we couldn't stay there, and God sing now, sing now. But we get back up again. We fall down sometimes, but we get back up again. Yes, we do that. We rise back up again for the saint, just sinner. Everybody sing now. We fall down. If you fall, you can get back up again. We fall down. He's full of mercy. You can get back up again. It's not too late. No matter what you do. Listen, no matter where you are, no matter what you've done, you can get back up again. Get back up again. No matter how far you fall, you can get back up again. He's waiting on you. Just get back up again. Oh, for a saint is just a sinner who fell down. Oh, my brother, my sister. No matter what you've done, no matter what you've done, you can get back up again. Get back up again. He's waiting on you. The arms open wide. Run to his arms. Run to his arms. Oh, for a saint, just yeah.
You can depend on Donnie McClurkin with We Fall Down. Amazing song, wouldn't you say? Good evening, everyone. It is a blessed Thursday. It's the first staging of Center Stage in the year 2023. And I do have a lot of things that are coming on board for you. Changes, and good changes too. So welcome to you. How about a witty quote for this evening? A witty quote. The whole of science is nothing more than a refinement of everyday thinking. Albert Einstein. Let's see which other one I have for you. There cannot be a crisis next week. My schedule is already full. Henry Kissinger. It's a famous man right there. Alrighty, don't argue about the difficulties. The difficulties will argue for themselves. Love that. Winston Churchill. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the show. I do have a lot to do with you this evening, 6:32 p.m. And again, thanks to everyone who has been with us through thick and thin for this broadcast. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I'd also like to just share, well, I want to thank, I need to do these things. I don't do them all the time. So I woke up a few mornings ago and saw something on Facebook. So when I looked, I saw my name and I said, what is that? But when I saw who posted it, I knew it was a legitimate act. So I opened it and I realized, the Jamaica Diaspora Council of the Northeast USA chose 60 persons who they wanted to recognize for the work that they have done in support of the Jamaica Diaspora Council and the Jamaica Diaspora in general. And so I read it. I'm like, they're recognizing me. So I said, very nice. And I, reached out to Dr. Karen Dunkley and I expressed my appreciation to her. And, yeah. So I was very delighted, if I might say, because, people pay attention. That's what Andy King says. People pay attention to people who participate. I'm not stealing it. It's just a mention. And so I was saying to myself, oh, wow, isn't that nice? So she said, congratulations, Denise Gomez, on your recognition for media excellence and partnership. As 2022 draws to a close in commemoration of Jamaica's 60th anniversary of independence, the Diaspora Northeast USA takes the time to salute 60 individuals who positively impacted our community. We salute you, Denise. So I am a part of the 60. Isn't that something, though? So I must apologize. I came here on Monday, and I didn't mention it. I did not mention it. But Mr. Hines, I gather, had mentioned it. And since I came in this evening, he was talking about it, and I appreciate that. But I personally didn't mention it. So beat me. So it reads, in recognition of media excellence and partnership in the area of Jamaica diaspora development, whereas the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast successfully engaging its constituents, whereas such engagement can only be possible through media partnerships and dedicated patriots, whereas our diaspora media partners in the Northeast USA have served with purpose and vision, amplifying diaspora voice and agency, whereas we have addressed a myriad of challenges and, through communication, connection, and collaboration, have raised awareness and understanding of diaspora issues, and whereas through the impactful work of media partners, we were able to bring important focus and visibility to the Jamaica diaspora and galvanize our people for the greater good. Be it known that the Jamaica Diaspora Northeast USA represents this recognition to an outstanding Jamaican diaspora media partner whose contributions have positively impacted the development of Jamaicans in Jamaica and the Northeast region of the United States. I, Dr. Karen Dunkley, take pride in issuing this recognition and could only have successfully done the work mandated by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Foreign Trade and my constituents with the unwavering support of this awardee. Presented this on the 31st day of December 2022 in commemoration of Jamaica's 60th year of independence. Signed, Dr. Karen Dunkley, Global Jamaica Diaspora Council Northeast USA Representative, Chairperson, Jamaica Diaspora Northeast USA Think Tank. So, I would like to acknowledge the Jamaica Diaspora Council for their recognition of me as the media excellence in partnership thing. I appreciate it, and I just read the recognition for you. So again, I continue to do my work and do it to the best of my ability, and so on and so forth. So it's a good day. It's 6:37 p.m. Good evening to everyone. And I would like to now take you over to News Zone. Okay, it's a delayed broadcast of the news courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. Good evening, everyone. Welcome. My name is Denise, Lady D. Gomez.
Good day, I'm Stephen McHugh, and this is your JIS News for Thursday, January 5, 2023. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says government, in partnership with stakeholders, will be providing robust intervention in support of mental health on the island. Mr. Holness says the program, which will include the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the church, and other stakeholders, will be done to change the culture of persons not seeking help when they are in crisis. According to the Prime Minister, too many Jamaicans are suffering in silence with multiple issues. Compounding those challenges, he says, is not knowing where to get help.
Somebody to sit and talk with you, somebody to give you advice, even for the point of just offloading, break down and cry, helps you to get over it and get past it and to develop the inner strength and the renewed hope and faith that you will overcome the crisis.
The Prime Minister was speaking yesterday at the Heal the Family, Heal the Nation National Day of Prayer. The action from the government comes in the wake of a murder-suicide of a couple in Manchester and a possible case of suicide by a police officer this week.
It's not something that the government should leave up to chance. It is something that we have to be instrumental, deliberate, and proactive in ensuring that we intervene before the crises in people's private lives become a public health matter.
The Prime Minister brought home the point that tackling mental health from a whole-of-nation approach will align the moral standards and cultural practices of the society in keeping actions that support growth. Residents of Kensington, Tulla Castle, and surrounding communities in St. James are tapped to benefit from improved road and water infrastructure. Minister without portfolio in the office of the Prime Minister, Robert Morgan, made the commitment at a recent staging of the Sam Sharp Flames of Freedom ceremony and celebratory concert. The roadway leads to the historical site where the 1831 Christmas Rebellion, led by national hero, the Right Excellent Samuel Sharp, began. Minister Morgan says infrastructure development continues to be a major priority for the government. Included in those plans is the construction of the Montego Bay Perimeter Road.
The Montego Bay Perimeter Road is going to bypass the traffic on Howard Cook Boulevard. So those of you who go to do business in Montego Bay will have an easier time coming home.
The Ministry of Justice is encouraging persons who wish to migrate or take up employment overseas to take up the offer of having their criminal records expunged. Only persons who meet certain criteria are eligible. The first is that the offense on your criminal record must be punishable by a non-custodial sentence, which means you did not have to go to prison for it. And the second is that you receive imprisonment that did not exceed 5 years. Also, persons applying for expungement must not have any other criminal conviction during the rehabilitation period. The information was given by Senior Policy Analyst at the Justice Ministry, Shanique Graham, on Get the Facts recently.
It can be the difference between a fresh start, a do-over at life, because at the end of the day, you are not your mistake. And we recognize that, and that's why the Ministry of Justice is on a drive to give people that second chance so they can be productive members of society.
Between April and October of 2022, the Justice Ministry received 1,293 applications for expungement. Persons may contact the Ministry of Justice at 876-906-4923 for further details. In other news, the Transport Authority will begin motor vehicle examinations on January 9 to process the renewal of road licenses that will expire on March 31, 2023. In a press release on Tuesday, the Transport Authority said the early start to process vehicles is to facilitate the submission of road license applications by February 1, which is the start of the 2023-24 road licensing period. For quicker processing, persons may use the online application process. Delivery services are also offered upon request. Meanwhile, the authority is reminding customers that all its offices are now cashless facilities. Therefore, customers may pay for services at select external payment partners. Applicants must meet the approved Transport Authority standards and requirements to receive a road license. The authority is reminding stakeholders that failure to complete the renewal process by March 31, 2023 means that their road license will become invalid as of April 1, 2023. For further details, persons may call toll-free at 888-991-5687, customer care at 876-618-0959, or visit the website at www.ta.org.jm. And finally, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has joined a throng of Jamaicans who are expressing deep sadness at Wednesday's sudden passing of Ambassador Richard Bernal. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says Ambassador Bernal gave committed service to Jamaica and elevated the country's status and relations with bilateral and hemispheric partners. During his professional career, Dr. Bernal was Jamaica's ambassador to the United States of America and permanent representative to the Organization of American States. He was also a member of the board of directors of the Inter-American Development Bank and a chief trade negotiator for the Caribbean Community, CARICOM. As the Director General of the Caribbean Regional Negotiating Machinery, Ambassador Bernal had responsibility for trade negotiations for CARICOM. Prime Minister Holness says Dr. Bernal represented the people of Jamaica with honor, dignity, and professionalism. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Stephen McHugh. Thanks for watching.
What's going to happen? You follow. Hello, everyone. How are you? Good evening. Welcome back. That was a delayed broadcast of the news, courtesy of the Jamaica Information Service. It's 6:44 p.m. The show is brought to you by Cooler Runnings Jamaican Restaurant, 1802 Nereid Avenue in the Bronx. Give them a call, 718-324-7484. And once again, if you were not tuned in on Monday, I sent my very special hello, and I gave her a telephone call as well to say, hey, Sandra, thank you so much for sponsoring the show in the month of December, because she was promoting her treats, her sorrel cake, her Jamaican fruit, her sorrel drink, pineapple ginger, ginger beer, and her fruit cake with and without icing. And I gather that persons heard the advertising here on the show and went on up and said they heard it here. So I'd like to thank everyone for actually going to support Sandra at Golden Crust Caribbean Restaurant, 67 South 4th Avenue. So once again, thank you, Sandra. I appreciate it. Want to say hi to my young'uns, you know yourselves, like Eddie and them. Good evening to everyone. And it's 6:45 p.m. So what do I have in store for you? As you know, they're struggling to nominate a speaker for the House, and they're all over the place. Well, let's put it this way. If I am a part of an organization, and I've been in this thing for so long, at some point in time, I'm in my mindset, I have adopted pretty much this organization, and I think I could do a good job at it if I were given the opportunity. However, I think a reality check also is important if after several votes and they still don't want you. That should send a message to you that people are not in favor of me. There has to be something, whether or not you know your own personality and what people know you're capable of, especially, you should stop. You should take a rain check, because if we speak something at the onset, it's always from the heart and true. So if people vote from the onset and it's a recurring thing, I think you need to do a reality check. But that aside, I just wanted to give you a quick insight about the Speaker of the House as a history fact for you this evening. Now, the Speaker is the political and parliamentary leader of the House. The Constitution mandates the office, but the House and speakers have defined its contours over time. Some speakers have aggressively pursued a policy agenda for the House, while others have, in the words of Speaker Shuler Colfax of Indiana, come to this chair to administer the rules, but not as a partisan. Regardless, the Speaker, who has always been, but is not required to be, a House member and has the same duties to his or her local constituents like the other 434 members, is at the levers of power. The Speaker is simultaneously the House's presiding officer, party leader, and the institution's administrative head, among other duties. So I'd like to share some facts with you now. Okay? So, first Speaker of the House, Frederick A.C. Muhlenberg of Pennsylvania, was elected presiding officer on April 1, 1789, the day the House organized itself during the First Federal Congress, that's 1789 to 1791. Total number of speakers, to date, 54 individuals have served as Speaker of the House of Representatives. Longest serving Speaker of the House, Samuel Rayburn of Texas, served as Speaker for a total of 17 years, 2 months, and 2 days. Shortest term of Speaker, elected Speaker of the House as a sign of respect from his colleagues on March 3, 1869, Theodore M. Pomeroy of New York served for the closing day of the 40th Congress, that's 1867 to 1869. State with the most speakers, 8 Massachusetts representatives have served as speakers. First and only Speaker to serve as President, James K. Polk of Tennessee. Longest election for Speaker. After more than 2 months and 133 ballots, Nathaniel P. Banks of Massachusetts was elected Speaker on February 2, 1856. First Speaker to make a televised address in the House of Chamber. On opening day of the 80th Congress, 1947 to 1949, Speaker Joseph Martin of Massachusetts addressed the House during the first 5 television broadcasts in the House of Chamber. First woman Speaker. On January 4, 2007, Nancy Pelosi of California became the first woman to serve as Speaker of the House. Youngest Speaker elected, Robert M. T. Hunter of Virginia, was elected Speaker on December 16, 1839, at the age of 30. Oldest Speaker when first elected to the office, on March 9, 1933, Henry T. Rainey of Illinois was elected Speaker for the first time at the age of 72. First Speaker to approve regular TV feeds from the House Chamber, Thomas P. Tip O'Neill of Massachusetts. Most party affiliations for a Speaker. During his entire House career, Nathaniel P. Banks of Massachusetts had 4 different party affiliations: Democrat, American Party, Republican, and Independent. First sitting Speaker to lose re-election to his House seat, William Pennington of New Jersey. Galusha Grow of Pennsylvania and Tom Foley of Washington also lost re-election to their House seats. Number of speakers to die in office. 5. Michael C. Carr of Indiana, Henry T. Rainey of Illinois, Joseph W. Brines of Tennessee, William B. Bankhead of Alabama, Samuel Rayburn of Texas. Number of speakers to regain the gavel, 7 individuals who have served non-consecutively. Frederick Muhlenberg of Pennsylvania, Henry Clay of Kentucky, John W. Taylor of New York, Thomas Brackett Reed of Maine, Sam Rayburn of Texas, Joseph Martin of Massachusetts, and Nancy Pelosi of California. So I just wanted to share some fast facts with you about how this very important role as a speaker of the House was, where the origin of it, and how many people have served and what their roles have been. Sharing that with you in What's Inside the Zone. 6:51 p.m. Good evening, everyone. It is Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. My name is Denise, Lady D Gomez, and of course, you're broadcasting on the YouTube channel Inside of the Zone with Lady D. Good evening to my viewers right now. Welcome, everyone. Sending a wave to you and blessings to you. And of course, don't forget our telephone number is 914-600-4228. It is Disco Music Thursday. It is the first Thursday, and that's all I do on a first Thursday. Got some disco for you. Are you ready to dance? Dance with me, no man.
Talk about it, talk about it, talk about it. to Funky Town. Won't you take me to Funky Town?
Yes, it's Disco Music Thursday, and of course, coming up in a few minutes is Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. From the subject line, my daughter is making a big mistake, and I'll be sharing what that is all about for you. Good evening to one and all. What time is it? 6:56. I got 4 minutes to go, and being New Year and all, you know, we talked about our vision board, those who want to make resolutions, those who choose just to take it one day at a time. But for yours truly, I am going on a mission, and I'm praying to God for guidance and wisdom, knowledge, understanding to be able to accomplish what I want to accomplish. There are just some things that after a while you need to take a look and say, this is not working. I need to do something. I need to make a change. I need to, you know, and you start listing all the things that you need to make changes for. In terms of the news, as we know in Jamaica, double murder happening. I think a policeman committed suicide, if I'm not mistaken. But, you know, again, we continue to just live and not get ourselves too bent out of shape. But yes, there was a double murder and a whole lot of things going on. And we hear it and we're just blown away. But be not dismayed, you know. If you know God, He's able to take care of you. And just hold on to Him. Good evening. Our telephone number, once again, is 914-600-4228. That's 914-600-4228. Got some more music for you in my segment here for the Disco Music Thursday. I'd like to say hello to Chris Wilby. Chris Wilby, I'm hoping we could talk for a few minutes. If possible, if you're able to accommodate me, I'd appreciate it. But I want to say, you know, that as we continue to partner and do things together, Chris Wilby and I are good. We're good. And I just want to bless him up because right now my voice is being aired on his platform. So we're back to back with each other. More music for you.
What you gonna do? You wanna get down? Tell me. What you gonna do? Do you wanna get down?
Lady D is on your radio. Inside the zone. You're listening to, once again, the queen of radio. Her name is Lady D, Denise Gomez, and she is on your radio.
Come on and get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. How you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. Tell me, how you gonna do it if you really don't wanna dance? By standing on the wall. Get your back up off the wall. 'Cause I heard all the people saying, get down on it. Come on and get down on it. If you really want it, get down on it. You gotta feel it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Get down on it. Come on and get down on it. Baby, baby. Get down on it. Get on it. Get down on it. I say people.
Yeah, Cool and the Gang. You know, I'll be coming back to you, right? So I just have to take a break because right now it's time for Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. Welcome, everyone. It's been a while.
Two hearts together, we're a harmony
always brand new. Right from the jump, we had a hunch that we had everything.
Perfect combination. Love plus you and me. A perfect combination. We couldn't ask for any better. Perfect combination. We fit to a team. A perfect combination. With all it takes to last forever. Together. So deep inside we share a feeling that's so rare, so sweet, just knowing that we are a special.
Welcome to Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. Let's hop on over to our mailbox and see what's going on. Alrighty, we have mail. Let's get to it. From the subject line, my daughter is making a big mistake. Dear Lady D, my daughter and only child is 22 years old and I am worried. All parents feel a sense of pride and accomplishment when their daughter is getting married, but in my case, it may or may not happen. My daughter came home a week before Christmas, most excited that she met the love of her life in the Co-op City Mall on December 14th. Her father and I were so surprised it took us a while to compose ourselves. But if that was not enough, she came back on New Year's Eve after church with the big announcement they are getting married on January 28th. And she's serious. Since she dropped this bombshell on us, everything has been sheer chaos. As parents, we've been trying to reason with her about rushing to get married. We also told her to take the young man to meet us, but she refuses because all we're going to do is talk them out of it. She sings his praises. He's a research analyst at a prominent company, owns his own home and motor car, and she loves him. Lady D, we do not know anything about his family. How can we consent to this fiasco? I reached out to her pastor, and he says when they both approached him, he asked if their parents are aware. He agrees it is a very short courtship and much prayer is needed to break the stronghold. My daughter has threatened to move out of the house if we do not support her. Last week, the young man came to the house without her knowing, and thankfully, my husband and I were able to speak to him, and he seems like a well-rounded person who knows what he wants. We asked him if he wants to marry our daughter, and he says the first time he saw her, he fell in love. Lady D, my husband and I feel so guilty, as if we are sabotaging our daughter. What should we do? The intended wedding is on January 28th. Okay. As always, you know what to do. The telephone number is 914-600-4228, 914-600-4228. Do you have a comment? And what exactly? Which number this one again? And what exactly is your take on this matter? Firstly, I'm going to say that we've heard of people who have been married, the love at first sight. Some have married within a week, 2 weeks, even a day, and they're still together. So, I am not saying that here is this 22-year-old who doesn't really know much. I have an aunt who had gotten married at 22. And at the time, had I not known her age, you would think that she's like in her 30s, 40s, very responsible, was working, doing everything. Everybody looked up to her because she was the first girl. She is rather the first girl for her parents, and was doing well for herself at age 22. And, no, she got married at 20. He was 22. So there you go. That's a 2-year decrease at 20. So, what say you, Yellow? Which number this one? It's on?
Hello?
No, I don't think so. Let me see. Let's try this.
Hello?
Mm-mm.
Hello? Hello?
Yes. All right, let's take a call and see. Good evening. Welcome to Mail Zone. How are you?
Good evening.
Hey, wait, MS. Happy New Year, MS.
Happy New Year to you also.
How you doing? Did you hear your name mentioned? I said hello to the younguns like Eddie and MS.
Yeah. Well, maybe they have a good union, but I would give it at least a year. At least a year.
Reason being?
There are things that you may not have seen that you need to see and need to learn.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do things too fast, sometimes you miss certain things that you should have seen. So I would say to her, yes, you may have found the right person, but give it some more time, maybe at least a year.
Mm-hmm. And I just mentioned that there are people who have been married in less than a week, and they have great success stories, So is
I've
it?
seen that too.
Pardon
I've
me?
seen that too, but I don't like the idea of rushing too much. I don't like it because I suspect that there are things that may be missed.
Yes.
You need to see these things.
Mm-hmm.
Look, in other words, look before you leap.
Mm-hmm. Okay, got you. And if they intend to go ahead by the 28th, and we're talking about what, 2 weeks, 3 weeks away, about 3 weeks away, right?
That's right. Now.
And they
That's right.
That's right. No, what can happen, if they are willing to make it work? This is just my take. Some people will tell you that rather than waiting to get to know someone, they don't mind going through the process in the marriage of unraveling who you are.
Well, you know what? Good evening. Good
Yes.
evening, everyone.
Yes. So I have a sitting guest with me. She's early. Go ahead.
Yes, good evening. This is Rosebud. Yes, I think it also depends on the maturity of the
person.
Yeah. If they're not mature in knowing what they want, then there's going to be issues. There's going to be issues regardless, because that's life within itself. But some 20, 25-year-olds, between 20 and 25-year-olds, are very mature for their age. Depends on their background, where they're both coming from. His intention, why is there such a rush? Because, that saying, if you love me, you'll wait. If you've got intentions, or you look in a green card, you got to be real. This is 2023.
Well, none of that was mentioned, so I wouldn't be able to speak into that.
Right,
but the possibility exists.
Right, and that's all I'm saying. So
Yes.
you've got to put all those things into question.
Right.
And if you see where there's genuine thoughts, and you feel that you want to go that route, well, only you can stop you.
Right. So here is CJ on the YouTube channel saying that he got married at 23 years old and it's going 29 years now.
Oh, God bless.
So congrats, CJ. But my question is, how long did you know her before you had gotten married? Let me take another call. Good evening. Welcome to Mail Zone.
Queen.
King.
Good evening.
Good evening, sir. And I'm not alone. Rosebud is with me. Say hi to Rosebud.
Good evening, Rosebud. I hope you bloom very soon.
Good evening. How are you? Happy New Year to you, sir.
Life is good and it's a new day.
Absolutely.
I don't know, everybody's saying the new year, but I'm taking it day by day. And for me, it's a new day.
It is a new day. You woke up
I
and
don't
you
know
got
about
up.
the new year, what everybody's talking about. I yet to hear anybody pronounce anything good for the couple. Procrastination is a stealer of time. Number two, there's no such thing as the right time. The time is now and the place is here. Each parents need to bless the young people them and send them on them way. We have no one of their experience. If she choose and he choose, we need to have open arms. Prodigal son return. We need to put the best coat over them and welcome them back home. That's the worst could happen.
Mm-hmm.
We need to pray prosperity and long life.
Let me have
Go
it
ahead,
here.
Emma.
Yes, what you're saying? Hold on, King.
Patience is a virtue.
Patience is a virtue.
Yeah, I was saying patience is a virtue.
Mm-hmm.
And does virtue have a timeline? Is it 2 years, 3 years, 6 months, 12 years, 10 years? What is it?
I would say about 3 years. 3 years.
Oh, look! Do you know how much inflation turns in 3 years? Me can't tell anybody. Me not will find nobody 3 years. If I think I can take care of you and you not ready, I'm gone.
Right.
Sir, you're misguided. You're totally misguided.
Why do you say that now, MS?
Yeah, thank
the
you,
fact
Queen.
is that you have to learn to live with someone, work with someone. You can't just jump in because you're going to get a lot of surprises.
Hold on, Ryan. Hold on. Ryan, hold on. Allow him.
I am saying you're going to get a lot of surprises. So give yourself a chance to get to know the person.
And yes, MS, we do. And I'm with you too, you know. But what is true is even if you date someone, you court someone for an extended period of time, there are things that pop out at you, you know.
Yes, but that's going to happen
regardless. But it's going to happen regardless.
It's going to happen regardless.
So whether during the courtship or during the marriage, that's by nature, that's human beings.
Exactly.
Right? We go through different emotions, our objectives change, all kinds of things. And it is the marriage, the sanctity of the union, the vow that we take, so that, because I'm sure her parents are trying. They don't want to just say to her, don't marry this man and break the relationship with their daughter.
And with what you said, he came by. And they're not ripping their heads out.
There you go.
So, okay. And again, I think, again, as long as there's no intention of any craziness, and they say that they're young and in love, why not?
Yes.
You let them. We all have to make our mistakes, so they're gonna have bumps in the road. Life is gonna show them what reality is. But how else are they gonna learn?
I agree. Yes.
All we need to do is to make ourselves available for the young people. Let them know in case of situations arise, you're more than welcome to speak to us. We're here for you.
You're
and
right.
The young people we have too much doubts and fear.
Yeah.
And God is the only person in charge, you know. Neither me nor you, nor the mother, nor the father, nor the aunt, nor the uncle who don't want to come to the wedding, who don't approve the wedding. None of the above is in charge more than God. So the only person we can put over these young people, sir, is the Lord.
Yes.
Me and you can break up.
Yeah.
Take a good look before you leap.
And that's all right.
That is
That's
correct.
okay.
That is correct.
Yes.
You are correct, MS.
Yes, you take a look before you
Yes.
leap, but
But
it's
it's a two-sided coin or two-edged sword, because again, as you said, there's people that love at first sight.
Yes. I mean, I said
It
I have an
happens.
aunt who got married at
Yeah.
20, her husband 22. And they were very responsible. He was started the engineering thing, doing his thing. She's working and, became so responsible, even to this very day.
Okay.
So
there you go.
responsible. That kind of solid individual she is.
Right.
And I mean, again, unless you make a decision to do something, you don't know what the outcome will be.
Right. You have to make that first
And
step.
many of us, anticipate to be married and that everything will be smooth. I don't know if they will recommend real hard counseling for them, because sometimes, there are ministers who say they are counseling. You're not supposed to be counseling people into marriage.
No, that's not what
You're supposed to be discussing the hard knocks of life
right.
that will impact your marriage.
Absolutely.
So, if at the end, I recall years ago, I worked with a friend of mine in Jamaica. We were walking home. He was going to get married. And one day he came back to work and said he and his fiancée were walking home after a session, and they were both looking at each other, wondering if they should really be getting married. The session was so intense. They did get married, and it lasted a few years well, and then afterwards they had divorced, and he has since remarried. I think she herself.
Okay.
And they are two handsome boys, grown up now. But that's what should happen. So, I mean, at age, 22? I mean, she didn't discuss anything much about her daughter, because I think the primary cause here now, reason, is that her pick-me is telling her she got married in a few weeks.
Right, yeah, that's what do you mean you're getting married in a few weeks?
That's the overarching problem.
Is there something wrong? What's going on? Did I miss something?
My thing is I learned one thing in life. Everything you have to approve by me. All I need to do is be a supporter. I can sit my family member down, whether my brother, my sister, and they say, "Oh, I want to go buy a house. Do you have 6-month mortgage saved?" I can ask all the questions if you have what saved. And if they say no, what I'm still gonna say, don't go buy the house. I can tell you this is what it's gonna take. I'm supporting you. Go ahead. I wish you the best. Me just not go throw my family member now, my loved one like that. Support.
Agree.
Let them do not rob people of their experience.
Yes, that I agree.
We cannot hold them ransom forever.
That's
But
right.
all
earlier
sides are
you
right.
find out, the better. Early detection save life. Married young, find out what it takes. If you feel like pull up and divorce and move on, pull up and divorce and move on, the next marriage will be better. Early detection save life.
And as
Them all the best.
what, Ryan, but I must acknowledge that both of you are raising very valid reasons, right? You have your own points, and we commend you for it. But we know that a discussion of this nature and the content of this letter will spark so many variables.
Yes.
Right? Because they are perhaps not thinking into it enough.
In that,
right now,
yes.
they know they're so attracted to each other.
Right,
And one person had told me one time, he said, Lady D, Miss Save, meaning he's a Christian, he's in church, and I am tired of going to my bed by myself. So if I meet somebody now and they want to marry, I'm going to marry them. I'm not going to be burning. So there is that. So you never know. These are two Christian young people.
They know what they want.
So there you go. So rather than them now having to stretch it out, the devil will intervene and mess them up.
But that's
I refuse
nothing.
to endorse. I refuse. That's one thing I never like to mention in anything of prosperity. I hate to mention that word, the devil. Who is he? I am on no verge for him.
Right.
I don't even want to mention his name. I don't want to mention him, period. God blessing on the young people, them. Don't be afraid of struggle.
Right.
Love your husband, love your wife.
As long
and every
as they're
time
there for
she
each other.
not press your shirt right, and she not press your pants right, look her in her eyes and love her more.
I sure
If she not
how.
cook right, love
And show
her
him how to
more.
do it as
That's
well.
all
Let's-
I can say to the
let's
husband
do it together,
and
love.
wife. No matter what nobody say, do not believe. Here we say, go straight to your husband.
Right. And go straight to your wife. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Why
Yes.
is the divorce rate so high? Why is the divorce rate so high?
Because people are marrying for the wrong things.
Exactly. Exactly.
But this may not be
Who
one
is
of
gonna
those.
stop the divorce? Who? Can anyone tell me how we're gonna stop divorce?
You're not. You're not. It's no. You cannot. No.
Yeah.
No.
The price of cell phone goes 2 times every year, and then people still buy iPhone.
Right.
iPhone gone up to 14 and 1500. People still buy.
Still buying it. Yeah.
14 is out.
My thing is, when I hear about marriage, it's something that I admire. The Lord endorsed it. I pray for anybody who has the strong nerves, because me past that age long time, I may not have the strong nerves yet. So I'm happy when me young people decide to take it
That's
on.
what they want to do. Let
I'm
them.
happy for them, and I bless God for them. I hope and pray that they look in each other's face every time a struggle come up. They say, "Honey, me love you."
Right. Oh, that's not. Yeah.
Thank you,
That's all
King.
my take on it, Queen.
Thank you, King. All right, blessings. And your final comments, MS?
Well, I will still say,
Mm-hmm.
if you meet someone who is highly desirable,
Yes.
still give it some time. Don't rush into it.
Okay.
That's still agreeable.
Give it at least a year.
Okay. Thanks, MS. Let me take another call. Good evening. Welcome to Mail Zone.
Good evening.
You know, this is
And I was just
Al's favorite segment of the Inside the Zone program. Hey, Al.
Well, you know, unfortunately, I missed the mail, but just from the conversation, I just want to say that the problem with a lot of relationships is that love has different levels, and most of the levels that we experience is the infatuation stage. And when that infatuation stage is over with, a lot of couples have challenges. Because after the infatuation stage, there's a commitment stage. That when the infatuation stage is when, you know, you give the person all the time in the world, you're very excited, you know, you want to be around the person consistently. And people have to realize that phase diminishes over a period of time. The person's going to get older. You're going to get used you're going to get used to the person and so forth. So the love, that's when the true love really starts. At the end of the infatuation stage, where all the adrenaline and the endorphins in the brain get excited. So what happens a lot of times, people don't really challenge themselves during the commitment stage to be committed to that person, especially in a marriage. And a lot of times too, because they don't teach us marriage 101 in school. So a lot of times there's nothing wrong with, you know, being in groups to really enhance and have meetings with each other at least once a month.
And here
ask
is
each other how we do.
So in this
You know,
particular case, it's a 22-year-old young woman who met someone at church this past December 14th, and now they want to get married January 28th.
Now it sounds
And
fishy
at
all of a sudden.
and at 22, the thing is, according to the state law, at age 18, they're an adult. So they are able to make their own decisions legally. However, they have, you know, we may say they haven't experienced enough of life. And as your caller before, sometimes we have to actually allow them to experience that and grow into maybe a better state. Hopefully, it can last.
Yes.
And even if it don't, they have learned from that experience. But there are two adults, according to the rules of laws and all of that, that can make those decisions. Hopefully the parents don't feel so disappointed. I myself got married at age 23, my first marriage. It lasted for 16 years. with 4 children.
Mhm.
And me and my ex-wife is pretty good friends because we have those children in common. And it's all about the you as an individual, and realize that now after you've been together, the woman, gentleman, gonna change. Her body gonna get different when she start having children. So the love, that commitment, we need to really take a more closer look at.
All righty. Thank you,
Great
Al.
topic.
All righty. Blessings. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
What were you saying now? Rosebud.
All of a sudden, they met when?
They met December 14th.
And today is not even a month yet.
Right.
Is what it is.
Mhm.
So all of a sudden now it just don't sound, it just does. I mean, yes, love at first sight happens. It does. But now all of a sudden another bell just rang off, and something about it just don't sound.
There are so many bells that could be ringing.
Yeah.
And maybe half of them we don't get right.
Right.
The tone of the bell.
Right. Because, the tone just rang differently.
Uh-huh.
And I apologize if I'm wrong. And I'll be the first to say if I'm wrong. I can say I'm sorry. I hope that not be the case.
Right.
But Lord.
All right, so we have, okay, so let's see. We have 7729. Good evening.
Go into the chapel.
All right, so hold on a moment, please. I have 2 callers. I'll accept 7729 first, and then I'll deal with the second caller. Yes, sir. Good evening.
7729. Going to the chapel. Want to get married. Look here. This is nothing new. These are just these how do I say, passion. People want to have as they would say, legal sex. Sex without the guilt. You want to get married. That's what it is.
Okay. And so you wouldn't be bothered with the fact that they want to get married. If you were the parents, what would your thought be? Because that wouldn't be your first thought.
Well, if they insist on doing it, go do your thing, and then come at me.
Okay.
Your choice.
And you'd be there for them no matter what, for your daughter.
Well, I will always have my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
After we have good conversation with it, and they deem their healing, and that's what she's going to do.
Mm-hmm.
What am I going to do?
Okay.
Go and do your thing, and it's a part of your life experience, and, it's on her.
Yeah.
So she will always be my daughter.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah, because you see, again, it's her choice. At the end of the day, she's making that choice.
Mm-hmm. And as we say, she's an adult.
Mm-hmm. You do wish
right,
them
and her
the
choice
best.
doesn't change the fact that she's my daughter.
Yes. Let me hear the comment from the
She's
other
always making
caller.
choices of her own along the way. Yeah. Okay.
Right. Hold on, dear. Yes. 7299.
Lady D, good evening. How are you doing?
Chris Wilby.
The numbers are close, so.
Yeah, I know. So I realize.
Yeah. Yeah. How are you doing, Lady D?
Greetings, Chris Wilby. Dea Medea.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and the crew. Everybody on the YouTube channel and on the radio and everybody. Good evening, and online on the telephone line too.
Yes.
I realize that you have about 15 people online.
I hear that. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So all right.
I'm
good. Yeah, and good evening to your guest too. What is your name again?
Rosebud.
Oh, good evening.
Rosebud.
Yes, Rosebud comes up after me, but she's early this evening, so she's sitting in with me.
Oh, okay. Good. All right. So,
what's your take?
The topic.
Yes.
Very, very interesting topic, and interesting takes.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody have a good point. Everyone has their idea of what should and what should not be.
Mm-hmm.
My opinion on the whole thing is that at the end of the day, these people are going to do what they want to do because they are adults.
Yes.
What we would have to do, if that were my daughter, I would sit and encourage her, show her the pitfalls of the pros and the cons of getting married too early, not knowing the person who she is getting married to. I would probably encourage her to wait a while. Because, you know, it's all well and good to say, allow them to just get married and get it out of the way, and if it don't work out, then they just divorce and move on. That is one way of looking at it. But in reality, that's not how life is. Divorce can be very difficult. It can be very messy, and especially if children are involved. So I get the point, and I get the idea of people saying, get married and get it over with. But at the same time, we still have to think about it is a possibility that the marriage may not work out, especially when persons don't really take the time to get to know each other. So I would say, if that were my daughter, I would say, hold off. But at the end of it, the decision is going to be hers. And if she decides that, hey, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to support her.
Yes.
Because that's what you do. You support your children. You know, you explain, you show them. But at the end of the day, whatever their decisions are, you support them. And that is where I would come down on the issue.
Right. And of course, you know, the writer, she says she's going to listen. She wants to hear what everybody has to say. They usually listen and send me back, you know.
Right, feedback.
Sometimes
Feedback to your feedback.
I remember one lady had said, Lady D, they give me a whipping. But I appreciate it, Chris Wilby and DL and King and MS, you know, and interestingly, the men have called in.
Yeah.
Isn't that something?
Yes, that's interesting.
Yes.
All right, take it easy.
All right, Chris Wilby, blessings. What you said, DL?
All right. No, where you say the men are what?
The men are on the go here this evening.
Right, that's lovely.
We've not gotten a female caller.
Okay, but no, quickly though, as I said, you know, it's just you just listen and give your take on it as a parent, you know, and
wish them the best.
You know, marriage is it's personal, and everybody go about it differently, and you know you give your part, and then if the decision is you still think that's what you want to do, what are you going to do? That's okay.
Indeed.
Right,
you know.
right.
Yes.
Just make them aware of the red,
Thanks,
the
DL.
red flags. You know.
You're welcome.
All right, blessings. Mail Zone, your emails are my priority, 914-600-4228. As you know, I have the segment Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. And I do have a feature that I'd like to air for you this evening. I think that when a person decides that I want to make something of myself, it's all possible. No matter what.
Right.
If it's one cracker per night and water to go to your bed,
then it's just so.
It's just so. And you will achieve something.
Yes.
So I have a feature for you. This was aired on a radio station in Jamaica. I heard it yesterday morning. And after watching it, because I'm watching it, you know, live, and I said, oh my, this is something I could air for my audience. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap this evening for Mail Zone. Your emails are my priority. Thanks to the 4 gentlemen who chose to call and share their comments. We appreciate it. What you thought, Rosebud?
I thought it was quite interesting. The men are listening to their daughters, and that is lovely.
Yes.
To hear that they, they want to support their daughters in any way possible.
Any way possible.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what it's all about.
At the end of it all, right?
Yeah, because there are going to be bumps in the road. Either way, whether they've just met or whether they've known each other for a long time, there's bumps in every marriage.
Absolutely.
But I just say, look out for the red flags. Are you doing this for a particular reason? Are they looking, I just got to be blunt. Is he looking for a green card? You got reality again. 2023.
That is true. That is true. Again, our telephone number is 914-600-4228. Let's take a break. It's now time for Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking. Good evening, everyone. I hope that you garnered something from our discussion just now. If you know of somebody who is trying to decide, or if it's too soon, you can say, hey, I was listening to Male Zone, and here are some of the recommendations that were made. Sure. So, welcome to Voices, the intellectual voice that has everyone talking.
This is a rebroadcast of Vendor to Honors, Kevin Gale's touching story of loss, challenges, and triumph.
My name is Kevin Gale. I am a past student of the Retirement Patient Primary School back in Linstead and the Charlemont High School. I am also a current graduate of the University of the West Indies, and I have achieved a double major in economics, banking, and finance.
Talk to me from primary school days. You used to be a studier?
Well, from primary school days, can I be frank with you? Because
yes,
you see,
please.
Explaining this, it's not all about proper English, to tell you the truth, because we need ghetto youths, especially if you understand where I'm coming from and where they can actually propel themselves. At primary school days, enough time we used to walk from school in the evenings, because what? We don't really have the bus fare. And at times too, we have the bus fare, but just the vibes of walking with a few of your friends. So we never watch that. So we just walk from school, laugh, we chat. Moving on to Charlemont High School now. Charlemont High School, that was a challenging period going to Charlemont High School, because you look on actually 240 fare per day, and we never really have all of that, to tell you the truth. You see me? So the part program was a big help where that was concerned, and basically we get part lunches each day. My mom was a higgler in Linstead Market, while my dad, he was a farmer. My mom sells like clothespins, shoe polish, shoes brush, kitchen towels. My father now implant him sorrel and implant a lot of cassavas, but the income made after everything was not enough to actually basically supply everyone going to school, because my mom and dad had 8 of us.
8 children?
Yeah, man, it's 8 of us. So
Tell me a little bit about the 8 of them. Tell me.
Well, to tell you the truth, you see the 8 away basically stick to each other, and every little thing, thick and thin, I just we that. Because that's how mom grow, so how dad grow. I have 5 sisters and 2 bigger brothers, myself included, So, you see, my sisters, any boy a road, see them and feel like, say, alright, them want to talk to them, fine, but just not touch them, not go near them without them permission. Because if you do that, you are going to see we. Growing up, going to high school, it wasn't an easy period, because when you look and see, and you see your mother, you go in the market in the evenings, and your mother tell you say she not sell nothing. She not sell nothing, and she there in the market the entire day, and persons are pass her, and it's like them just know want certain things that she have, or probably them not have the money to buy it themselves. That kind of break my heart as a youth, And from then, I tell myself, say, yo, I'm gonna try my best to make sure, say, I can actually put a smile on her face, put a smile on my dad's face, put a smile on my brothers and sisters' face. Even my uncle, because my uncle really help with a lot too. You see me? Where that's concerned, lunch money to my uncle help too. My dad put to him can put my other bigger brothers too. I was driven by the entire situation, basically. Not really sufferation, but you know, we had challenges growing up, and to tell you the truth, we never grew them way they figure beg nobody nothing. Even when people tell we say, yo, if you want this, you can come tell me. We not grow them the way they. You see me, we prefer stick and work with what we have. If I want spoon of rice, that spoon of rice you have to share between you all 10 away. High school was a rough period, as I said before, but through all that, we still find a way for smile, because we still have some real friends, real charges where, you know, them stick with them, chat to them, try encourage you. I had teachers in high school that encouraged me as well. It was actually 2 teachers. I had one of them, the name of one of them was Mr. Dunn, and the name of the other was Mr. Clark. Mr. Dunn was my economics teacher. Mr. Dunn and Mr. Clark, I tell you, I really, them not talk to me like teacher. You see me, them talk to me like a next youth on the street, a next ghetto youth where we are trying to work hard towards something, towards achieving something in life. You see me, so them encourage me to go and push and do my thing. I developed a love for economics back in grade 10. You know, just because Mr. Dunn was actually teaching it. Yeah, man, because as I say, I really out, and you see the way I explain the contents of economics that really help. With economics now, persons need jobs. So economics is all about the macro and the micro aspect of economics. The micro aspect looks on the development of businesses, while the macro aspect looks on the economy as a whole, how to get jobs for inner city youths, jobs for the less fortunate, how to basically build the economy, you know, through production, through mining, through agriculture, through tourism, through different sectors of the economy. Those things can actually help to actually uplift persons from my area, as well as uplift others who are having financial difficulties. In grade 10, I started helping my mom as well as my big sister, because they were selling, my big sister was selling Lascos, while my mom, she was selling shoe polish, shoes brush. So on weekends, me take some of our stuff, then me take some of my sister Lascos, and me just carry them, spread them out at a section on the road in Linstead. Assisting where that was concerned was a big thing for me, because I was basically helping put food on the table for all of us. Yeah, man, and my mom was a woman where any little thing she have, she's just willing to share. She's willing to share. Is a woman where she would actually share out all her food and not get nothing or get the pot bottom just for you eat, you know? And might be you're not a member of her immediate family, probably you're just a friend, but she just want to see you eat, she want to see you good same way, even if leaving herself out of whatever was provided.
So how is your mother now? What's happening with your mom?
Well, my
She
mom,
must be so proud of you.
She is. A number of persons have actually told me that she's proud of me. My mom actually passed back in 2016. She died of breast cancer. You know, that was really a tragic moment for me as well as my family, because at that time I was in grade 11. I did not even do C-Sec as yet, you know. So that was a tragic moment for me. I can remember the nights where sitting in the room with her, she just constantly crying of pain in her breast, pain all over her body, and basically I could not do nothing but being there. Anything I could actually help her with, I would. sleepless nights. Me actually up with her, me and my sisters as well, because she's just there crying for pain. And we have to up, make sure so we try to find the best ways to comfort her. And I remember at one point when I signed my C-Sec subjects, got signed to do them and so on, and I brought them to her and she was saying, Ratty, you sure you can pass them subject here? And I look upon her and I say, yes, mommy, I can do it. I can do it. And even though the cash that she had was for her medications, she basically gave me that cash to pay for my subjects, you know? And it happened that she actually died even before I got to do the subjects. So she died in April, and subjects, the sitting of subjects were like in May, June, July, for those 3 months, you know. And the day that she died, I was actually outside washing her bedwear when I just heard my sister cried out loud. And when I got inside the room, I realized that she had just lost her life, you know. She passed. And even though my sister was crying out loud, I was just there sitting and just looking, and no tears could come from my eyes. Even though I would have loved for a bit of tears to come from my eyes then, but no tears could actually come from my eyes. And then it's like I was looking and saying, all my sisters are here crying. So as the male, I just make sure say them not see her cry, because them see her cry, them a go get weaker, them a go really feel discouraged, them a go, you know, them a go be more sad. So as the male, you have to just make sure say you step in for actually represent, for actually cover, for be that level of support where that's concerned. You see me? Yes, so that was what happened where my mom is concerned.
How did you get to do CXC after that? How did you focus the past that, and what were the passes if there were? Tell me about that.
Well, I know say my mom would be happy if you know say my past, you know, even though she died. I know say she go happy if you know say me done. And as well as my family, because I had my family there as well. I know say them I look forward to me pushing through all that. So it just have to be strong as I get the youth, and we have to just read. I got through everything I have to go through. When I was studying, she was on my mind. I still had to cover what I needed to study, because if I didn't study, I wouldn't know what exactly to do on the exam. And I don't want it to be a case where her 23,000 she did for use by medication got to waste. You know, so I actually had to look at it on that standpoint. Yeah, man, I couldn't make it go to waste, man. So right there and then, I actually just put in the studies. The night that results came out, I got 4 twos, and I got 4 twos, a 1, and 3 and 2 twos in Cape, in C-Sec, because I did 7 C-Sec subjects, you know. And I just that night, water just run out of my eye. And the reason why water just run out of my eye is the fact that I got through, and she's not here to actually see or to actually hear what I got, you know. But everyone encouraged me there, saying that, you know, she's happy. She's happy for you. She's happy where she is, you know. Even though I don't want her, yes, I will do it. Basically, you know. Even though.
Your dad?
Well, my dad is okay. My dad is good. He's a little ill now as a result of a stroke that he got, but he's recovering. Yeah, man, he's recovering, and really have to give God thanks for that, you know. Because my dad is a man where it's like once him start the work, him just want to finish it. Him nah stop until him finish what him a do. And I feel like say I got a little of that from him, because anything I start, I go finish it. You see me, I go finish it where I can smile, where me can actually put a smile on others' face as well. That's why economics, accounting, banking and finance is not only for me, you know, but it's actually to help, to uplift persons, make them know, say, yo, I did it and you can as well.
How did you survive through universities though? University is a tough place. I must tell you.
Yeah, that's true. We know say university tough and we actually face it for ourselves. But you see, what university taught was that in everything you do, just do it at your best. Even when you're there, so you study, you're tired, just push. Because one saying that I have, hard work, perseverance, and belief in God, with those three things, anything you want can be achieved. Hard work, perseverance, and belief in God in everything you do, through every situation. As long as you work hard, as long as you persevere, as long as you push, as long as you have God in the midst, then you will more than achieve what you set out to. During university, I had to do a JAMVAT program. That's Jamaica Values and Attitude program, where university students actually volunteers at different different organizations on the campus, and by so doing, by completing the 200 hours, then you would actually get 30% of your school fee paid. So that was a plus for me. There's also this PART beneficiary program that PART gives to students going to university each year. They give a maximum of 100,000 each year, and you have to ensure your GPA is actually at a standard to get that each year. So I maintained that GPA. I did my work. I did JAMVAT. As you said before, I went hustling as well because more money was actually needed to cover certain expenses. So I went hustling, I went selling on the weekends with my uncle on Sundays. I was at Sovereign at 1.2 selling apples with my uncle and my cousin. That's just how we did it. That's just what we had to do if we actually try cover.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what are your thoughts? Because I do apologize, the interview is not complete, but there seemed to be some buffering thing going on here. Okay.
Moment I completed my degree, that really felt good. Actually, I began praying, I began thanking God, because without him it wouldn't have been possible, so I really began thanking God. And then I began looking back at the fact that my mom is not here, so even though majority of my family members are happy that I've completed, it's like that one source of joy is not there, because my mom is like a source of my joy. I'ma tell everybody, everyone may go say, yo, my mom is the best person that I've met. Until today, my mom is still the best person that I've met. And they were like, well, tell her say I love her, because they thought that she was still alive because of how I spoke of her, but she's alive somewhere in my heart, yeah. For a person who is struggling right now and going through what I've been through, yo, I'm gonna tell you, say, yo, it's not easy, and an easy road, but yo, just go and push. Go and push and try get your stuff them completed. Go and push and try get everything where you can get done. Because you will actually be pleased. You will be happy. Your family will be happy. Your friends will be happy for you at the end of the road. But you have to go and push. It don't make no sense you give up. Giving up basically keeps you at one place, keeps you at one level in life. But pushing to reach a higher level, that's the goal, that's the objective, and it can be achieved. You just have to push and get it done, man. Just push, just press, and get it done.
Good evening. Welcome. How are you? Hello. Okay, they hung up. Alrighty. I think that we have really wrapped up this evening's segment of Center Stage, the platform where voices are heard and people connect. And you certainly heard a voice this evening. This young man here, as we would say right here, sir, is such an inspirational human being, resilient, and his heart is just so pure, I'm telling you. And what stood out to us as we are watching it is how his mother gave up the money, the 20,000 Jamaican dollars
For her medicine.
for her medication, so he could go and pay for the subjects. The thing, she asked him if he's sure he can do this, and he said, yes, mommy, me can do it. Let's take 2 calls. I don't want to run over in your time. We have 3 minutes. Good evening to you. Who wants to go first?
I call
7729.
Hold on, 7729. Go ahead. 1239.
No, there are 2 situations. Sloan Kettering Hospital, if she was here in the United States, would be able to save her. But there's also Dr. Lawrence Williams, research scientist in Jamaica that has the Guinean weed, and he heals 13 different forms of cancer with the Guinean weed tonic that he has created.
So
that's 2 pieces of information I'm giving out.
Alrighty, thank you, MS. The thing about it is he did not disclose if the cancer, because the fact that he said the pain would be in the breast and all over her body tells that it must have been metastasis. What is the word again? Whatever, metastasized or what have you is the pronunciation for it, which tells me it had spread.
It had to spread, yeah.
Yes, because she was in such pain all over.
Yeah.
Whether or not there was the lack of funding to help to, get her all the medication and so on that she needed, the chemo, the this, the that. We don't know the backstory of it.
Those are what ifs.
But I understand what MS is saying. Certainly, maybe if, they could have. We don't know at what stage she found out all those things that she had breast cancer, because sometimes people don't know until it's too late.
Right.
So that's just my take on that. DL, what do you say?
No, I'm just saying a lot of things that he said resonates with me, and even more so, given that I'm familiar with where he's from. That's my high school going years here I lived in, and I know from which he speaks, and it will link to the market experience. Yeah, so it resonates with me.
Alrighty. Well, enjoy your weekend, DL. Thank you so much. Thanks, MS.
Thanks, same to you. Welcome.
All right, bye-bye. Thank you. Same to you. Alrighty. Well, I tell you, that is why, I know we are all made up differently. I don't beat people. If you get the encouragement to say, keep trying, and you choose not to try, you drop the ball at some point, even when you have people who want to support you. We can't do anything about that. But it's sometimes you just say to yourself, here is a family, has 8 children. And as he says, they stick together. They look out for each other.
Yes.
So if it's a spoon of rice,
right.
everybody gonna share the little spoon of rice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Good evening. We're wrapping up.
Yes, good evening, lady.
My dear heart.
God, I sit in here. I cry. I say, oh God, what a dirty cancer.
Yes.
Just in 11th grade. and he was fighting, and he said he wanted to help his mother. My God, that cancer.
Yes.
Taking mother, 2016. Jesus. But he still push on. God bless him.
God bless him.
Yes.
She's around him. She's around him, protecting him. She's just smiling down on him.
Yes. Yes, my heart
She's
ends.
smiling down. Oh my God, my heart.
Yes, it's a really touching story. And now, you know, he's in the financial sector, working and making a mark on his nation, trying to give back. So you hear him talking about the macro, economics and so on, because that's the area that he loves.
That's what he likes to do.
So, you know, we just want to say that what they would say, one not dead, not die. Oh, we go.
One not dead,
no
not
dash,
right.
dopey, whatever. Something. Something. But we can instill in our children to not give up and become something in this world. That's always my thing.
Right. That's the only
where
thing
you're
we can
going
do is encourage them.
Because sometimes when we're little, we don't have long-term vision, you know.
Right.
We just see what's going on.
Right, for here and now.
Here and now.
Yeah, because our brains are still gathering information.
So we're not saying, oh, but if by the time I get to 30 or 20 and I don't have a high school diploma, I don't have a this, fine. We know not everybody going to go high school and this and that.
Right.
But whatever you're good at,
do it.
Do it.
But you make something of your life. Don't be sit down and fold your hands.
Right.
If you don't get this high school and you get this, go to work.
Do something.
Yes. Be constructive.
That's right, Hortense.
But listen to your children. You have your children, then send them to school. If you, the mother, don't get it, put the children them too.
Yeah. Me understand how you feel it, Hortense. It's a very touching interview, but we love him, and I prayed for God to cover him
and guide him
and guide him.
And he's guided in the right direction. He's got the village.
There you go.
He's got his village.
He does
to support what he's doing, and he's got the blessings from his mom.
And he wants to give back.
And he wants to give back.
What to his father?
He says his father had a stroke and is recovering, but his father is still there and they're fine. So I'd like to thank everyone this evening for tuning in to the program. Enjoy your weekend, my Hortense. Just pray for him, all right? Blessings, my love. Take care. All righty, we're going to go. We want to thank everyone for tuning in to Center Stage this evening, the platform where voices are heard and people connect, right here with yours truly, Lady D, Denise Gomez. Want to thank Rosebud for her early appearance. I can't give you the back end of it. But we want to thank her for being here and for, sitting in and sharing your comments, Rosebud.
Thanks, lady.
But I'd like to wish everyone a blessed weekend. You know, my weekend starts with you today because I'm not here on Fridays. But enjoy your weekend. Be safe. I aim to do the same. And as you know, I used to walk boat when I was little. Go all over the place at people's yard. And then by the time they come and find me, they said, "Dark yourself up. Go on up. Go up." So, me I go up. Rosebud is here. They used to run me home. I never had boundaries. I didn't know what time to leave people's yard to go back to mine. Lord. Go on up. Go up. That's a go up. My Auntie Joy will be the first to go and say, "Why you love walk out so a people yard? You don't have enough of you." But anyway, you're a child, you wanna, So blessings, everyone. We're out. Enjoy your weekend. Mwah, mwah. I'm out of here.
What's he gonna do?
You're locked on to the number one radio station. Number one radio station.
They play the best music.
Number one. Best music.
New York,
for
New York,
your listening pleasure.
the best ice cream factory located